6-minute podcast. Business, study, life.
Buckle up, because today we're taking a deep dive into some seriously thought-provoking stuff.
Ooh, yeah, I love this stuff.
We're talking The Fable of the Bees by Bernard Mandeville.
Classic.
A book that kind of throws a wrench in conventional morality.
Right.
It argues that all those vices, the things we're told are bad.
Grant, lust, pride, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Mandeville says they might actually be essential.
Yeah, keeping society functioning.
Like the oil in the engine.
It's a wild concept, right? It is wild. So
Yeah.
to help us unpack this, we have a fantastic expert on the show today.
Well, thank you. I'm excited to be here.
So let's jump right in.
Let's do it.
Mandeville argues that vices, things we usually consider negative,
Right.
can actually have some positive consequences.
Totally unintended, but yeah, positive.
It's almost like a paradox.
It is. It's like flipping morality on its head.
Okay, so give me a concrete example.
Okay, let's take greed, for example.
Okay.
Mandeville argues that this desire for wealth, this greed...
It pushes people to innovate.
Makes sense.
To create new things, new products, new services.
Like build businesses.
Exactly. And this competition that comes from that, everyone wants to be at the top.
Right.
That can actually lead to economic growth.
So it benefits everybody in a way.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Interesting. So like those entrepreneurs we see today, the ones obsessed with being the next big thing.
Oh, yeah.
Mandeville would say they're actually doing us a favor.
Yeah, in a way he would, because he would argue that their ambition...
Even if it's, for their own personal gain.
Even if it's totally selfish,
Yeah.
it can result in advancements that improve everyone's lives.
Like what kind of advancements?
Well, think about the Industrial Revolution.
Okay, yeah.
So many inventions from that era came from people just wanting to make money.
Right.
But those inventions, they changed society completely.
Transformed it.
Yeah. And, for the better, mostly.
But isn't that kind of a cynical view of human nature?
Oh, absolutely.
Like we're all just driven by these base desires?
Yeah. Some people definitely criticize Mandeville for that.
Like what about altruism?
Right. Like doing good just because it's good.
Right. Not because you're going to get rich.
Exactly. And Mandeville's critics, especially those who believe in, the good of humanity,
Yeah.
they argue that he totally ignores the power of altruism. They say that humans are capable of acting selflessly,
Right.
of putting others first,
Yeah.
and that this can also drive progress.
So it's like this constant tension.
Yeah, a tug of war.
Between self-interest
Right.
and the common good.
Exactly, and I think that's the central question.
Yeah. Which side is stronger?
That's what Mandeville makes you think about.
He doesn't give us an easy answer, does he?
No, not at all. And he's not saying we should just let our vices run wild,
Right.
embrace the chaos,
Yeah.
It's more like he's presenting this thought experiment,
Okay.
using satire to make us examine our own beliefs about morality.
Like a social caricature almost.
Exactly. He wants us to see the complexities of human behavior.
So how does he actually use satire in the book?
Well, the most obvious way is that he portrays society as this hive of bees,
Okay, I've heard about this.
where everyone is just buzzing around pursuing their own selfish desires.
Right.
But here's the thing. It's precisely this pursuit of individual vices
Right.
that creates this thriving and prosperous hive.
Interesting. So it's like this unintended consequence.
Yeah, he even goes as far as to say that a society full of completely virtuous people,
Oh, wow.
totally selfless.
Like saints?
Yeah. Basically, they would be stagnant and unproductive.
Because there's no drive.
No drive, no ambition, no innovation.
So it's not about good versus evil then.
It's not that simple.
It's more about these unintended consequences.
Exactly like things we think are bad,
Right.
actually having positive ripple effects.
I see. So Mandeville's challenging us to think beyond these simple categories.
He's pushing us to see the interconnectedness of everything,
How individual actions
even the ones driven by vice.
can contribute to something bigger. Yeah, to the greater good.
Wow. So if Mandeville was alive today, like walking through Silicon Valley or Wall Street,
Ooh, good question.
what would he say about the vices driving our modern world?
Oh, man, that's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
I think he'd be fascinated by how ambition,
Yeah.
the desire for status,
Mm-hmm.
the constant pursuit of innovation,
Yeah.
all things that could be seen as vices,
Yeah.
are shaping our technology, our economy, even our relationships.
I mean, it makes you wonder, are we really that different from that hive of bees he described?
Yeah, centuries ago, right?
Yeah.
Are our motivations even the less noble ones?
Yeah.
Still weaving the fabric of society.
It's definitely something to think about.
It is, and that's what I love about The Fable of the Bees.
Yeah.
It's a book that stays with you
It makes you think.
long after you finish reading it.
And that's what we love to do here on this deep dive.
Absolutely. Get those brain juices flowing.
So thank you so much for joining us today.
It's been a pleasure.
And for everyone listening.
Definitely check out The Fable of the Bees.
Yeah, it's a wild ride.
It's a classic for a reason.
And who knows, you might even find yourself agreeing with Mandeville.
You might just see the world in a whole new light.
You never know.
Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on another deep dive.
Hi, everyone.
Bye.
6-Minute Podcast. Business, study, life.